Hello students, how are you all? Hope you are staying at home and staying safe. Today, before jumping into the topic, first we will perform some simple experiment. And before going to the experiment, that in the previous video we have already learned about air, and in this video we will learn about water. 70% of the earth is covered with water. Now this water is very useful to us, as you know that we need water to drink, we need water to bath, we need water to do each and everything. So first we will know some basic properties of water. Like, see, this is a glass of water. Now if we add something in water, will that thing dissolve in water, or will that thing never dissolve in water? We have to check that will it dissolve with water or it will not. So I have some things to do this experiment. Here I have tea leaf, salt, turmeric, it is mud, it's soil, and here I have ujala. Okay, so first we will try to dissolve each of these things, and we will see that which of the things dissolve in water and which don't. So let's start with turmeric. Okay, I am taking this much of turmeric in this glass, and now I will stir it. So it seems that it has dissolved in water. See, now only we have dissolved it, but we can't come to the conclusion. We will keep it in a certain place undisturbed, and we will see that after 5 minutes does it stays like this or not. Okay, let us keep it aside. Now I am taking one more glass, and here I am adding little bit salt, this much, and let me stir it. See, it got completely dissolved. Okay, now let us keep this also aside. Now I will add in this glass, let me add little bit of this clay. See, apparently it got dissolved too. Let us keep it aside. Okay, now let me add few drop of this ujala. See, now let me show you all the glasses. This is turmeric water, this is salt water, this is muddy water, and this is the water with ujala. And now the last one, we will add in this glass, we will add little bit of tea leaves. See, it is not dissolving at all, but we will allow all this thing to rest for 5 minutes, and then we will see that which one exactly dissolved in water and which didn't. 5 minutes are over. Now let's see the result. See, this is the first turmeric water. You might see that it has, this turmeric is still in water, but I can see some of the sediment here. Here this thing will be clear. See, if I stir it, can you see the concentration increase? So some of the turmeric powder got settled down as sediment. So turmeric does not completely dissolve in water. Okay, see here in this case, in a glass of water we have added turmeric. So the glass of water is solvent and we have added turmeric powder. That means turmeric powder is the solute. When we add solute in the solvent, we get a solution. So this is turmeric water solution. In the same way, let us see this salt. See, it has completely dissolved in water. And if I dissolve it again, there is no change. That means salt is soluble in water, whereas turmeric is not completely soluble in water. In this case, this is a salt solution where the water is the solvent and salt is the solute, and we got the solution. So this salt got completely dissolved in water, so I am keeping it aside. Now coming to this water with mud. See, you can clearly observe the some of the things like a small leaf type or something is floating over the glass, and here we can easily see the layer. Can you see the layer of mud or soil? That means soil does not dissolve in water. Okay, let us keep it aside. Now this Ujala solution. Here, see, again I am telling you, this here the water was the solvent and here we have added few drops of solute. Here solute was Ujala. Okay, and we got a solution. See, Ujala solution, and it got completely dissolved in water. So here you can classify, and the tea leaves. The tea leaves, you can easily see that you can see the tea leaves. Some of the tea leaves are floating and some are some can be seen in the form of sediment. So if I group them, these two means the salt and with Ujala one, these are soluble in water, whereas these three are not soluble in water. Now, you know, we drink water, and this water may contain some impurities, and in order to drink the water we need to remove these impurities. Now impurities can be of three types, like the impurities which are soluble in water, impurities which are non-soluble in water or insoluble in water, and some microbes. So we need to separate the soluble ones, insoluble ones, and we need to kill those germs. So first we will learn how to separate the impurities which are insoluble in water. Now we will take these two examples. Here it is the tea leaves and here muddy water. Now what you need to do is, you can separate the tea leaves by the process of filtration. I am keeping it aside. By the process of filtration, I am using a stainer here. Yeah, filter papers are also available in lab. Now at home you can easily filtrate it. See what I am doing, I am just pouring this water. See, though it has taken the color of the tea, but there are no tea leaves here. So in this way we can separate the insoluble impurities from water. This process is called filtration. Now there is one more process known as decantation. So these are the two ways. First one is filtration, next one is decantation. Now I am showing you decantation too. Let me keep these two things aside. What you need to do, you need to take an empty glass and see here the mud, it is already sedimented. Yes or no? Now I would like to separate this, the water. Now I need two things. See, in this case there are some floating things. So I need to separate this, so I am using a stainer as well. And now I am not disturbing the glass, I am not disturbing the sediment, and I will simply pour it through a filter. See, most of the soil is here, and yeah, some of the soil is also present in this glass. For this to clear it completely, you need to keep this glass undisturbed for 2 to 3 hours. I didn't have that much time, so I am just showing you the process. But here also you can see no floating substance, no floating impurities are there. Some of the soil particles are still dissolved here, and if you keep it aside for 1 or 2 hours, then again we can see a sediment and you can again separate it. Now separating the insoluble impurities are very easy, whereas separating the soluble impurities is hard. It's hard means we can separate these by some physical, like with a filter paper or just by pouring it, but in order to separate the soluble impurities, there are two main processes. One is evaporation, next is distillation. Now the basic difference between evaporation and distillation is, in case of evaporation we can get the solute but not the solvent. For example, this salt solution, if you boil this solution, after some time the water will start evaporating, and if you keep on boiling it, you will find that water will completely evaporate and you will be left with the salt particles. Now in case of distillation, we can get both the solvent as well as solute. What happens in case of distillation? In case of distillation, this evaporated water is then again collected. It is first cooled and collected. So in case of distillation, you can get the solute as well as the solvent. So the impurities may be of two types, that is soluble impurities and insoluble impurities. In case of insoluble impurities, you can separate it by decantation and filtration. In case of soluble impurities, we need to separate it by evaporation or distillation. Now how this drinking water is purified? See, in my place we get drinking water from underground. So underground water is the purest form of water that you can drink directly. But if the water is collected from river or lake, then there are some process that through which the water must go in order to make it fit for drinking. First is, we need to allow the water to settle for 1 day. So what will happen, that the water, all the insoluble impurities will get settled, and we can easily separate the insoluble impurities from the water. Then we need to filter the water, and when we will filter the water, all the insoluble impurities will be taken away from the water. Now this water, after sedimentation and filtration, the chlorine gas is passed through it, and this chlorine gas has the capability of killing those microorganisms. Now you can purify water at home. The two easiest way to purify water at home is, you can boil water for 10 minutes, or you can also use chlorine tablets which are easily available in the market. So I think you have understood the chapter, and you can try this simple experiment and you can find out whatever thing you have in your home or in the kitchen, that those are soluble in water and insoluble in water. I hope you will perform these activities at home, and you can please comment it in the comment box and tell me what was your conclusion. Till then, bye bye.